come up against these guys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all gamers in a position where they should be feeling really confident. I mean, if you look at Carbon's performance on port, they only got 1 round on their blacklist half, and against a team like All Gamers, you have to have a much more aggressive attack style if you want any hopes of taking them down. But All Gamers, they were in a situation where they looked almost shaky, but they just pulled out everything right when they needed it to, and they were really able to capitalize and close out that game against Boss. But again, it was a very close game, 10-8, so it's not to say it can't be done. All Gamers still in a position where they could be taken down here, but Carbon, with everything to prove here after a 6-10 first map, they really want to come back and put themselves in a nice position. And honestly, this implication of Carbon winning too does wonders for everyone, because it's basically like a complete reset in the standings. Everybody is at 1-1, so it opens up new opportunities for teams to potentially move up that might not have that opportunity if Carbon falls here.
Bonus points if Carbon manage to get a win that's like 10-6 or something, because they will then square themselves back up to everyone else in the round win-loss, and they would actually then they put themselves at an equal win-loss. Everyone else is at either plus or -2, and it would set All Gamers back to what, -2 as well. So yeah, they would, if they can win 10-6, they'll actually put themselves in front when it comes to round win-loss.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see them come out with, but I think it's still going to be a tough situation regardless, because I think actually Pacific would still have the overall round lead because they did have that 10-6, even though they fell 10-8. So I think Pacific overall would
Maps
still be
hard,
overall.
Man. I know this is our first time casting together, but I have a rule. If you can't tell, by the way, I'm Australian from my ridiculous accent. I have a rule that I always say with all my co-casters, which is no maths on stream, because I always do this and look dumb. Every time I'm like, oh, it's the answer is clearly this, and then I'm totally wrong. So this is why we have that rule. Kyle, welcome. Welcome to me not being able to count.
Right now, we're just taking a look at Carbon here as well. Honestly, I was pretty impressed with Kaiser's performance in the first map. He really wasn't the one that needed to pick up the slack here on the roster of Carbon. Honestly, I felt like we really didn't see much from Superman and Rek in that first map. Everybody else had some key moments that I could keep in mind, but Superman and Rek, I think, are the ones that really need to step up here going into this next map, and Carbon really in a situation overall where they just have to have a stronger performance. Otherwise, this standing could start looking a bit scary for them here really soon.
Well, they both had a few good rounds. Superman was very instrumental in helping Kais lock down that B site early on port, but Rek had a few rounds when he was on that AWM as well. But on the whole, there wasn't that much really shown from these guys, especially once they got onto their blacklist side. Everyone really went a bit absent despite their best attempts, so hopefully they'll be able to do a bit better for us here. Let's check out the map veto in just a second to see where we're going to end up though. Can I pressure you for a... Actually, you know what? I was going to ask you for a prediction, but we're just going to let this play out. We'll see what maps we end up with. Ankara banned and... Subbase ban. All right, let's see where we end up. Right, Port. Now I will ask you for a preliminary prediction.
I think All Gamers has definitely got this one on lockdown. Carbon already struggling earlier today on this same exact map. They only put up 1 blacklist round, so they do have that comfortability of starting on the defensive half again. However, I think they need a much bigger defensive half if they want to take this one away. A 5-4 isn't really going to cut it for them here, and honestly, if you're going up against All Gamers, I think they're going to need at least a 6-3-7 to have to even pull this off, and they're definitely going to have to step it up on their blacklist side as well.
Yeah, essentially, given how we saw them play earlier, they want pretty much as little load as possible on their blacklist side. Like if they can come out of this one with a 7-2 or an 8-1 or something like that, where they only need a couple of rounds on their attacking side, then all the better, because we did see before that they were very scared. They played very timidly on their attacking side, and they did get punished for it. Of course, they will have had some time away to think about that and have a chat about that and say, all right, what are we going to do? Because they can't come into this one playing the same way that they did. That won't work.
And the good thing for Carbon here is they had a chance just now to watch a very good match on port, so maybe they have some new ideas to go into this one with. They saw what really can and can't work when they saw Boss somehow rise up and take down Black Dragons. And Boss, they played an extremely passive blacklist half, but they still actually won that half.
They did, so let's see what they can do here as we do get some lovely flashing red lights. That means we're pretty much ready to go. Lovely stage setup. I do like the way it looks. Carbon, they've got some red lights to match the red on their jersey, so true to all games. You've got black and white versus, red and white versus red and black. There you go. How's that for neutrality for you?
Definitely going to be interesting to see these teams go head-to-head, but Carbon with a lot more to prove in this matchup. All gamers, they've already got their win. Carbon, the only team in our standings yet to pick one up, and losing this would basically put them in a situation where they're going to be fighting for their tournament life every remaining match if they fall here. So really everything to prove for them here, but all gamers still a lot to prove as well, as they could be the only team to make it out of the round 2 matches undefeated here. So we'll see if they can make that a reality. But starting it off, we are going to see, interestingly enough, only 2 snipers, not 3 just yet, coming out from Carbon. But Kai is going to take a bit of damage there to start this one off, but he actually gets a shot onto K as well, just not able to take him out in the process, but some good damage dealt nonetheless.
Exactly that. Now, I looked at where the map was and it's not there, so I got very bamboozled. I was about to say where the players were going and then distracted myself. So either way, looks like it will be a move over towards this A bomb site here from all gamers. Bonus is lying in wait. Will they check this corner that he's in? They do. He will come away with 1. Now Brando chumming with that AWP. Even runs in, but so far they're keeping this one even 2 versus 2. ZQ gets a dropping shot though, and now Superman needs to step up with the 1-on-2 immediately in the first round.
Superman going to be going for the flank out of A connector here. He's going to work his up very carefully. He's actually going to go for the Harvey jump. This is what they call it when they go for that reverse jump here onto the A bridge. Definitely a decision that could be pretty smart here. Not a common position that people take here, and they may not be ready for it. ZQ, though, spots him right away. A little bit of damage there on the table. Both players half HP as well. All he needs to do is try and isolate them one by one. And he definitely still stands a chance to win this round, but Superman, he's going to be playing this one very carefully, and he knows that both players are going to be nearby. He spots 1 A top. Doesn't know where Even is just yet, but he catches ZQ on the drop down. That's 1 player already out of the picture. The 1v2, could it go his way? Even knows that he's in a tight spot here. He's going to back off, play it a little bit safer. He's still down on HP, but he gets the wide peek, takes him down with a nice headshot. And AG, they're able to hold on, and they pick up the first round.
A very near thing for them, but they do get away with it. Nonetheless, Carbon keep it competitive, down into a 1 versus 1 for that final point. We'll have to see how they choose to change things up here. See if they've kept the same amount of snipers. Maybe going for an extra 1. Maybe going for 1 less. We've seen them do all of those things. They've still got 2, but they've shuffled up where they are. We'll see exactly how they choose to take this in the meantime.
And we do see Kai's going to be playing in that mid position now. Brando still going to be rocking that arm over towards A, but AG playing a bit more reserved this time around, not going too aggressive. They're just going for the early mid control, and then they're going to smoke screen out Kai's into potentially a position where he has to peek on that mid bridge, and you already see TF there in position waiting for him if he decides to go for the repeak on top of that smoke. So you can see AG definitely effectively utilizing their utility here to start off the round and trying to catch Carbon in a position where they may get caught off guard. So far, though, it is going to be AG still very hesitant here, but it looks like they're slowly setting up for a potential hit onto this A bomb site. But a nice little fake in the process here as well. They've got TMQ and TF ready to throw a fake over here towards B.
And if that can pull that mid player, grab Kai's and pull him over to B, you get that rotation off. That's one of those players they need to deal with. And TMQ has actually spotted 1 out, does a little bit of damage. No nades out just yet, just a bit of noise being made. And as of right now, no rotation, but here will come a couple of grenades to try and pull a rotation off. And they actually have done it. They've got players back over towards mid, so they've altered the A setup somewhat. Famous has moved over to reinforce that mid position, but Kai's has gone for an aggressive pick, and he's found TMQ inside mid. Wow. Okay, I actually thought Kai's was dead there, but he managed to come away with 2 kills and a nice little flick across as well. Kai's comes alive. 4 kills in the round now, looking for the ace here. TF peeks around, and the shot is actually connected by Kai's. He doesn't know it, but he did look for that in the no-scope. No, actually it's Brando who takes it from him, but nonetheless, it's a massive round from Kai's.
Definitely almost had the ace there, just barely missing that damage through the box, but still, that's a big round here for Carbon to bring it to a tie. Definitely liking the confidence out of Kai's there, somehow pulling off 2 Colt frags in mid as well. Picks up 4 in the round, and now Carbon, they tie it up right away, and that's exactly what they need to do. They know this half is one that they have to win, considering how just sort of distraught they seemed on their previous Blacklist side. Nothing but perfection on this Global Risk side needs to happen for them, but it's just going to be Kai's falling to even there with the opening pick going to AG.
It's a good pick as well, getting rid of that mid pressure. Kai's ruined them last round, so good to get rid of him early on in the piece here. 5 versus 4 now for all gamers on deck. Got themselves the advantage, and was that through the smoke? Was he boosted somewhere?
I think he did come in for a bit of a quick peek there from the back of spawn, so that would have been through the smoke, but Brando is going to face a ton of pressure here, but Carbon, they're already close in for the response here. But Brando misses a fairly easy shot there, but his team's there to back him up. Superman takes 2 down, but it's going to be even, still alive in the 1v1, catches him off guard. And just like that, AG win another close round here, getting down to these 1v1s, but AG, they're definitely coming out on top in the aim duels just barely here.
Once again, another near thing. Good trades back from Carbon to bring it into that 1v1, but not quite able to grab the win there. Once again, the mid pressure will be coming out here, led by Kate for all gamers. Famous and Kai's both here. They've actually been spotted out, but Famous is going to win that fight regardless. Is the opening frag going the way of all gamers. We can already see here, Kyle, how important this mid area is to both teams, as they're both putting 1 or 2 players in there every single round to contest it, and it's been a story of that frag going back and forth so far. As Carbon looks to be shuffling some guns around, maybe redistributing the AWM. Either way, it's long A coming in from AG, and a passive hold from Carbon.
Carbon going to be playing for a complete retake here. Kai's, though, going to be falling out of position as well. There's nobody on this A-bomb side, but Carbon, they're going to know quickly that this play is coming. Famous finds a headshot there through the smoke. Nice way to get things started, and now they not only have the entry, but TF, he does answer back. But Carbon, they're already in position to try and collapse in for the retake, and they need to be careful. Rek is very close on the flank here, but TF, he's got to be in position to hold this one off. Rek, he's going to try and sneak his way out here. We'll see if TF's ready, but Rek, he's playing very, very safe, waiting for his teammates here before he goes out for this peek. Still, it's going to be a 3-on-4 retake. Should be favorable for Carbon, but TF and Rek both playing the patience game here. But Kais and Rek, they peek out together. They find one. Brando, he's going to be caught, though. ZQ gets the drop down, but Superman, he already trades it out. And Carbon, they get a much-needed round there to answer back and keep this one from getting a 2-round lead over to AG. So Carbon, they're doing what they need to here, but I don't think trading rounds may necessarily be enough on this global risk half.
No, I'd agree there. They need a streak, because if they're just trading rounds back and forth, then we're going to end up at another 5-4, which we've already seen wasn't enough. As we discussed, they need like a 6-3-7-2 sort of deal. Kai's is going to start off with a nice little aggressive push to get that opening AWM frag. He's certainly been very impressive in his first appearance for this roster. It's been good watching him play and succeed so far, but we have to see what else is going to happen for this team. In the meantime, Kai's hasn't quite got the timing there, but we'll spot out one and be able to fall back as well as the pressure from AG mounts.
And right now, AG seem almost unsure of themselves as well. They're all sort of pushed back towards the blacklist spawn, so they're going to have to make a move pretty quickly here if they want to try and get this bomb moving before the time ticks too far away from them. They still have about a minute and a half, though, to work with. They're going to try and smoke screen it off and maybe even work for mid control. AG, a team that definitely is keen on getting that mid control away from Carbon, but they have to be careful. Kai's has been crucial in locking that down, but this time he is going to be playing alone over towards B, so Carbon utilizing a lot of those rifles this time around to hold off the mid push, but AG still going to be rotating back and forth between mid and B, unsure of where they want to take this bomb, but TMQ looks to potentially be leading them into a B push now.
This would actually be pretty dangerous. Superman's going to be caught off in the meantime, going for a flanking play. The rotation has come in, so Kais will have some help. It's Kais and Rek to try and do this one. There's a minute left, ticks by on the clock. It's going to be actually a difficult hold here for Carbon, but it's a very important one. Kais has been very effective here so far. He will pull out some utility, just throw him in, but Rek's going to get a nade out to do some damage, and the spam will come through. Now here comes the take. TMQ's already out. They're pushing past, and Rek, he's given a chance, but misses the spray. Now it's on Kais on the bomb side alone. His teammates are rotating in, and he stays alive. That's actually a pretty decent effort from him. Famous will get one before being traded. There's Kais getting involved with the pistol. Brando's going in as well. Pulls out his own pistol. Now into the 1v1. Can't quite land it, but even is low. The Colt comes out. The AK comes out. 3 boards for Brando. We'll go for that reload though, slowing things down. 14 seconds left. Even has to plant that bomb, and Brendo's playing the time, forcing him into it. The peak is out, neither player can hit the shot, even lower. Surely Brendo can just play the time on this one. 5 seconds left, and he will win it as Even springs on out. Very sensibly played from him. That will be another round for Carbon that they did need.
Now they will move into the lead as well here, so Carbon starting to pull ahead here, and now this is where they really need to run away with this first half if they want to have a pretty safe position for themselves going into the second half. 3-2, still a position where AG can tie this up, so Carbon really much in need of this round, but Kai's again getting the mid pick very early. This time it's going to be Even who goes down.
It's been a very big impact that he's been having here so far. Admittedly, we've only seen him and Carbon play Port, but this is a map that you said he was a little bit weak on when he was playing towards that long A by himself, or top A. And now that he's taken up this mid position, he's certainly doing a lot better. He's had great success here in both the games that we've seen him play on the defensive side. Doesn't get tagged down by a grenade there, but will still be okay to rotate a little bit away. But instead he peeks back into it. TF's ready for it. Grabs that trade. And that'll do. That's a start. Now all gamers have brought this back into a 4 versus 4, and they can start to work back into things.
We are going to see Brando going for the jump spot there on A connector to see if anyone may have pushed out. They're just going to be playing a nice cross setup here over towards A long. Famous going to be lining up with it. But Rek, he's already found a double kill here. That's a huge way to open up the round here and make it very favorable for Carbon. ZQ spotted on the bridge as well. Rek getting tons of information after that play. And now it should surely be another round for Carbon unless K and ZQ can find their way out of this one here. But K goes for the peek onto Rek, catches him off guard in the lower B tunnels, and now it's going to be a chance for AG still to bounce back. Famous also very low in this situation, so the 2v4 now down to a very winnable 2-on-3. ZQ going for the Harvey jump here over onto potentially an A execution. He's going to be spotted, though, takes a ton of damage in the process here, down to 42 HP, but K opens it up, a big double kill. It's down to a 2v1. Both players, though, are very lit. Superman has to find his way into this one, otherwise AG, they're going to be running away with a round that they surely shouldn't have been able to walk away with, but Superman still full HP. Let's see what he has to say about this one on the 1v2. Finds the first, looking for the 1v2 now. ZQ, the only one left to try and shut this down. Superman has been spotted as well, down to half HP. ZQ, this would be such a big round, but Superman still trying to hold on to it for Carbon, but ZQ, he's playing the clock perfectly. Going to be strafing on the ladder, but ZQ, he gets the peak. It's a 2v4 against Carbon. Not a round that they could afford to lose, and now AG somehow is able to bring it to a tie.
Fortunately for Carbon, you can't really be affording to lose rounds like that if you want to remain competitive here, but you can already see the change up from AG. They're not peeking mid at all. They don't want to fall to Kai's yet again, so no one even contests that area. So at least Carbon have managed to win that for themselves by Kai's continuously getting that pick. It's had an effect on how AG are choosing to play their attacking side here. Instead, TF's looking for a pick over towards B. Not going to find too much of anything just yet. Instead, looks like he wants to just straight up challenge mid, try and catch out Kai's.
TF definitely playing very reserved here, but rightfully so. In this sniper duel, he is 2-6. Kai's is 8-4. Definitely winning these aim duels in mid, to say the least, for his team. And Carbon, they're going for full control of B tunnels, and they're just going to be playing sort of a train entry here. But K, he's behind the mid box. They have to be careful. I don't believe they've spotted him just yet, but K doesn't even need to go for the kill. TF finds one. ZQ trades it, or gets traded out, though. Famous, he's going to be sniping this time around as well. Interesting swap here as Brando picked up the AK to start off this round. So we're going to see two different snipers here on the side of Carbon, but still 4v4, anyone's round for the taking, but the bomb now looking to make its way over towards A.
Carbon now in a decent situation, but they've got to start landing some shots to hold this off. Team Flash comes in for Even, but he's still able to move, make his way towards that bomb site. In the meantime, though, Brando's taken down one, and now he's moving up onto top A to try and shut them down when they come up this ladder. TMQ will find Kai's and wraps around, but Brando, for now, he stays alive, but flashed and spraying away, can't find it. The pistol comes out, and now a 2 versus 2. HP definitely with Carbon, though. And already, Famous has found that first kill into TF. It's all on TMQ. Very, very low indeed. He needs to try and convert this 1 versus 2, but both players very high on HP. He will actually make his way over to that B-bomb site and be able to get the bomb down, so that's something for him at least. Has a chance to find some decent post-plant positioning. Drops a smoke for himself as well as he moves back into the B warehouse. Now both these players will retake together, but he's actually going for the full wrap. This is very smart TMQ. He's gambling that they won't just stick this bomb. He's going to go for the full wrap, try and catch them off guard, and he might just do it as well.
They still haven't even started the defuse. TMQ in a brilliant position to take this one away, but Rec, he's ready for the flank. They watch it perfectly there, and Carbon, fortunately this time, don't fall to a clutch situation, and they are able to hang on to this lead now, 4-3.
I like the idea, though, coming in from TMQ, going for that long flank, trying to get all the way behind. The timing was perfect. They hadn't even had time to touch that defuse, but unfortunately they were waiting for him. So once again, the double AWP, or double AWM, I should say, out onto Kais and Famous. And Kais is going to find a nice quick one onto TMQ as well. He's done very well at winning that fight. He's currently sitting at 10-5. That's actually different to his normal peak. He has been locking down mid. That one was inside the B warehouse, but regardless, he will grab for himself that opening kill. Give Carbon a better position coming into this round. There's the second door for Famous chiming in as well.
So far, just great work from these snipers here. As you can see, Famous on 9 frags, Kai's on 10, so they've really been leading the charge here and shutting things down on this global risk half for Carbon. And now they are in a position where they could secure the guaranteed half here and now, and potentially even 6-3, which is exactly what they need, considering how shaky their blacklist side was in their first showing here on Port. Carbon, though, they can't afford to give up another clutch situation. AG, still a team that can bounce back even in these number down situations. We've seen it from them time and time again. So Carbon, they really just need to buckle down and make sure they don't give up this round to some silly mistakes. Superman going to be playing this close exchange in mid. You do see a little bit of action here potentially towards B, though, as it is going to be 2 players ready to peek out. TF and ZQ going to throw the flashbang to peek out onto the B bomb side. Kais spots them, can't connect the shot, but Brando and Kais, their positions have been compromised, but it's not going to matter. They don't check the corner. Rec finds one before going down to TF. The trades come through, though, in favor of Carbon, and it's going to be even alone. 1v4 trying to find his way into something, but it's just not going to happen. Brando sprays him down through the windows there, and it's going to be Carbon now in a 5-3 lead, potentially 6-3 on the table if they can close out this final round.
Kais is very good with that Colt as well, must be said. Lots of opportunities, or lots of situations, I should say, where he's gone for the arm shot, missed it. Or either that or his hitter is still being pressured and he goes for that pistol, manages to find the kill there as well. But that's very aggressive. Up through an A long smoke. Unfortunately, no one peeking into him, but a little bit of early info, even though there's no early damage. This guy sits at 11-5 currently, 9-6 for Famous. As you said, the sniper's doing work. Famous, though, might be in a little bit of trouble if ZQ rounds this corner, but as of right now, neither player too keen to get too aggressive about it.
Famous, though, making the smart decision to get there quickly enough to where I don't think ZQ actually caught him crossing here over towards A-long. So Famous just being able to hold down this position gives the rest of Carbon a lot of ability to rotate here. But it's interesting that they have the 2 snipers zoned in both on this A position. They've got Kais on top A, and now Famous working his way out A-long, but he's starting to push behind them. They know exactly that this B push is coming, and they can rotate even Kais over if they wanted to at this point, but they're still very hesitant on the rotation. Still nobody going to go over there just yet, but now as he clears through the back of mid, they've got to know something wrong. And it's going to be full rotation, but Superman, he already finds the double kill. He's taken down, but K and Even, they answer back nicely, but still a very lit AG left for the post plan here. But TF, he's found another. The nades come through, but it's still going to be K. Finds a beautiful headshot there. Kai's now left in a 1v3 against 3 very low HP players, but Kai's with that arm in his hands, he's going to be potentially looking for an AK here, I'd imagine, to try and clean things up here. That arm not really going to make it happen unless we see him come in guns blazing with a Colt. He definitely wants to find another weapon here. Unfortunately, they're all down on the bomb site, and it's just not going to happen. He tries to sneak in there, but TF finds him, and it is going to be a 5-4 half. So an identical performance from Carbon, basically, to start off their second showing here on Port. Let's just hope it doesn't go the same way as their second half did.
You thought that one was going to be an easy win for them. They did have Famous through on the flank, but like you say, despite the fact they had the flank and all the info, they still lingered on that rotate. I feel like had that rotate maybe been 5 seconds earlier, even they would have had a better chance on that bomb site. But as it was some incredibly nice shots hit by all gamers to open it up. So sometimes they just come in loud aiming. There's not much you can do about it. And Famous getting founded on the flank wasn't ideal either. He didn't really have the ideal weapon to be flanking. That said, he would have at most maybe either gone for the pistol or he would have gotten one arm kill and had to fall back. But even that would have alleviated some of the pressure on his teammates had he not gone down. Carbon do still come into this with the 1-round lead, but can't help but think it's maybe not enough given how we saw them playing earlier, Carl.
Yeah, definitely we need to see a lot of changes here on their blacklist side, and I think one of them should be early aggressive control plays, and we're actually going to see an attempt at one potentially here over towards B, but as soon as those nades rain in from AG, they're going to back off, and again we see a very reserved play from Carbon, but if they did their homework and saw how Boss played in these passive positions, maybe they'll have what it takes to walk away with the win. We did see Boss playing this similar setup here and making effective use of it, just working a little bit slower on their picks, but still taking some nice aim duels and always making sure they were there to trade. This time AG, though, they make a crucial mistake. And again, we see AG getting a little bit overzealous on their global risk halves, and Carbon, they're going to do a lot of damage onto ZQ, forcing him to back off here, back onto that B bomb site.
Once again, the double orm is out for Carbon. Venus and Kai's on those. Couple grenades thrown through to try and catch out the low HP player of ZQ. Not going to be able to do it, but at least they clear out some angles. We won't know about TMQ here playing close right, but for now, 3 players still stacked up over towards B, 2 questing around in mid and at the bottom of A long, hoping to find out something if they can, but there's TMQ close right, like I mentioned, managing to mow down 2, goes for the pistol. Will actually have time to fall back in the end, and that makes things very difficult now for Carbon to try and bring back.
We do see, though, both ZQ and TMQ very, very low on HP, but it may not matter if the rest of AG can just close out this round for their team. K finds a pick, gets lit up as well. TF and Even, the only players on 100 HP right now, but it is going to be Even who goes down. But K, he's here to close it out. Big double kill from him. Picks up 3 overall on the round, and just like that, AG, they're going to make themselves back at a tie here already to start it off. And Carbon, once again, they look a bit shaky here on their offensive.
And AG did have a fabulous attacking half earlier over on Black Widow. They went 7-2 in rounds on that one. If they can do similar here, then, well, they don't even need 7 rounds anymore. They got 4. So if they can do similar, maybe go 6-1, then we're looking at another 10-6. And Carbon will be going down 0-2 with the same score twice. But not all said and done just yet. Still a chance then to get back into things. In the meantime, it's Famous on the arm looking for a pick. Hoping that someone from AG will overextend, which they have been doing.
Right now, though, AG feeling pretty comfortable after that first round, but Carbon, they had a lot of engages that really could have gone either way. Both ZQ and TMQ were lit in their initial exchanges down to just slivers of health. So if Carbon can get those plays to go their way, it becomes a whole new ball game here for them. And Carbon, they have Kai's to thank again for these opening picks, finds one on to K, and just like that, a winnable round approaches for themselves. 5-on-4 for the potential execution here. The bomb working its way up towards A connector here, but still, they do have Brando on lurk watching the flank, but the bomb is actually going to fall to Brando here, and potentially we may see a slower execution back towards this B bomb site.
Very possibly, and this sort of thing is what I'm talking about with all gamers getting over aggressive. That time it works out, Famous misses the shot, but had he hit that shot, that's potentially 2 orm picks that AG have given up just because they wanted to push and got a little bit antsy. So wanted to be something they need to watch out for. But for the meantime, it doesn't matter. As long as they can get the trades and still win the rounds, then I guess do whatever you want, right? But 4 versus 4. TMQ is going to fall all the way back onto B. Carbon will be moving over towards A long, posturing towards this A site. But TF lays in wait with the Orm, finds 1 before getting traded. Still though, goes 1 for 1, brings him to that 3 versus 3. Even very low though, but he still manages to grab himself a frag. Superman and Wreck, 2 versus 3 now. 23 seconds left. That bomb should be going down shortly, but in comes TMQ to try and close the deal early. Won't be able to do it. That makes things a bit difficult now.
Now it is just going to be ZQ left in a 1v2. The bomb gets planted. Now ZQ is trying to sneak his way up here from the A bridge, but he's going to run into some trouble here. Still no damage being dealt onto him just yet. He's going to be playing safely behind the bridge box. Goes for the peek onto Superman. Is he going to be able to hand himself this round? But it's going to be a tough 1v2 here. Wreck stuck on the back of this GR spawn wall. ZQ, though, doing a great job of just throwing pressure onto them. He still has time to defuse, and he's going to hit a nutty shot there to close this one out. A 1v2 that surely Carbon should have been able to win. Again, falls against them.
I feel like that's a situation where you don't need to peek quite as much as Wreck was, but you can just chill and play the bomb a little bit. But still, that was an insane shot to be hit by Team Q there, so what can you do? Will mean, though, that all gamers will be continuing their lead. Kai's goes for a quick pre-fire smoke spam through mid with the AWM, but will not be able to find anything with it. elsewhere on the map. Carbon have actually changed up their, or I should say AG have changed up their hold now. They've got a player in close mid, 2 players top mid, only 1 on B and 1 on A. So playing a mid-heavy setup, fast rotates ready, and TMQ has been gifted that one. Almost doesn't get it, but will convert it in the end, close it out. He moves far enough back that Kais won't be able to get that trade either.
AG doing a great job of abusing these forward positions in Carbon. They're not able to cancel them as we've seen other teams do in the past on AG. So it's going to be Carbon facing a tough situation if they don't figure out how to cancel these early round picks. Kais, though, answers back, gets himself another in mid. It's going to be even going down, but still, they need to be careful. TMQ still close by. And TF, he goes for the wide swing, takes down Kais as well, and they keep that numbers advantage.
Now looking for a B hit. The AWM's continuing to get involved. Famous finds himself 1 to bring it back into that 3 versus 3. But ZQ here is just going to play in the pit, play the time, try and catch someone out on the entry. K's already on potentially a bit of a cheeky flank here. Will be gifted the kill onto Superman as well. There's the headshot. Now going through looking for more. Have to be aware that he could be here, but regardless, AG have done what they need to now. With that little bit of aggression, they've gifted themselves that 3 versus 2. Now they're going to fall back, and that's a great peek there from Famous, the power peek. And he goes and finds that first shot. But 2 more kills needed here. 2 versus 2. This is doable for Carbon. It's better than it could have been, but the round is not yet won.
Now we see AG rotating both remaining players here as well. Over to the same bomb site, but Famous, he finds himself a second frag. And now it's all on ZQ, the 1v2. But he snuck his way nicely onto this A top position. He's going to get the drop down on the Famous, finds the first shot. It's all on Brando now to try and close this one out. 1v1. Brando, though, goes for the wide peak, gets up the elevator boxes there and takes him down. Nice play from Brando, but you can see by the look in his face, he knew that was a close one.
Yeah, you can see there the deep breath of, oh goodness, I nearly didn't get that. But nonetheless, gets it across the line. That leaves us at 6 and 6. Carbon tie it back up. Surely at this point, you realize, yeah, they're going to go even slower. They know they've been being exploited when they go for these faster pushes, so they're just going to wait for it to happen instead. Just play slower and chill, which might be the way that they get another round going here.
And right now, Carbon looking to take the lead back here. This would be a step past what they did in their first showing on port if they can pick up round number 7 for themselves, but still, it is yet to be seen just yet. AG going to be playing a fairly safe setup. They do have K here playing up towards A connector, and they do have a little bit of a forward presence towards the B tunnels as well, but Carbon, they definitely need to try and get the picks going their way again to get this one started. Kai he's been a pretty consistent effort in making that happen. Famous could be trying to make that happen here as well, though. We'll see what they decide to do, but Carbon, they're still going to be playing in a very safe, reserved, passive hold here, just waiting for a potential mistake to come out. But K here, he's going to be playing just outside of A connector, but Famous, he got a quick peek there on A top, takes down TF, and that is exactly what Carbon needed here, and things looking a bit successful here, potentially to close out this round. And it's going to be a minute left, and Carbon continue to drain this clock as they look for yet another pick here. And this is where we may see the gamble come out from AG to start getting aggressive once again. We do see Even getting a little bit antsy here towards A long. Alongside K, they almost want to go for the peak, but instead they're just going to play a more forward approach with how they set things up here. But Carbon, they're still looking for these picks. They've got 2 OMs in their hands, so they really always want to go in with a 5v3 potentially in their hands. But AG, they're going to make the gamble. They're going to stack A, and this is going to be a complete turn on them. If they just walk towards B, Carbon, they should surely be in a great position now, as they are going to have a player roaming in mid as well to potentially catch this rotation. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Carbon, they're moving in. They're only going to have 1 player directly on this site. So TMQ, he has to try and stall this and make it happen for his team. K, he's going to find 1, but TMQ, he's going to go down. ZQ goes down to Brando as well, and things not looking good for AG this time around. Bomb gets planted. It's K and Even left in a 2v4. Brando finds another, though, so now it's all on K. 1v4 finds himself in a tough situation there, though, in the lower B tunnels. Brando, though, nice round from him, and now Carbon, they swing into the lead.
And they bettered their efforts from earlier today in their first game up against Pacific Makta. They got down 10-6 there. They now lead 7-6, so already doing better. But of course, you don't want to just do 1 round better. You'd love to get a win off. And if they do, then, as we talked about earlier, there will be no team who goes undefeated through the first 2 rounds of the round robin. All gamers will join everyone else on 1 apiece. We'll see if that is indeed going to be the case here, but for now, it's only a 1-round difference. There still needs to be more success on the blacklist side here for Carbon than they've had in the other game they've played today. They won 2 rounds total on their blacklist side. So far, they've done that once again. They need to do more, though.
Again, Carbon going for these early picks. Kai's trying to find one potentially here over towards this B-bomb site. Still can't connect on anyone just yet. AG, though, they're going to back off. They don't want to risk giving up that early peek, but it looks like they're going to go for the cheeky little boost play here, something that I've seen them run before. They put ZQ up there, and he just bounces up and down just to try and make sure no one can spot his feet there in that position as they push through B. So ZQ, he's in a key position here because even he's just going to play the role of bait here, just trying to get them into position to peek on the ZQ. Definitely a great positioning play from AG if they can catch this off guard, but Carbon, they sense that there might be a trap here. They get the pick, and they decide to fall off. Good decision-making here. They aren't going to fall for that trap just yet. Still a 4v4, though. AG looking to respond, though, as Carbon gets that counter pick.
Now, though, the defensive setup spread out far and wide. 2 on B, 1 on mid, 1 on A. Carbon now decided to go back into B. This could be a bit of a misread from them, given that ZQ is still here, bouncing up and down. And they might know that he's here if they've seen this before, but I don't think they'll check it. No, there's no way they check this. He spots out so many players. ZQ gets 2. Only getting 2 there is actually better than it could be for Carbon, but now they're going to try and convert this 2 versus 3 with not much time left at all. It's all onto Supermen, and he will be sprayed down nice and easily by Even. 7-7, we're tied up once again, and it comes in the back of the ZQ boost.
Definitely a smart play there. They baited right into it in Carbon. They made the mistake of falling for that trap. They were baited right into it. So it is going to be all tied up here. 7-7, still a situation where either team could walk away with it. Carbon still playing a better half on their blacklist side than we saw from them previously, but it has to be more than that if they want to close this map out in their favor and put themselves on the board with every other team and force the 1-1 across the board. But right now, AG, once the pressure mounts on their shoulders, they're only a team that seems to get more confident. We saw what happened when it looked like Boss might take a map off of them. AG, they stepped it up earlier in the day, and they were able to close that one out 10-8. So Carbon, they're going to have to bring their A game here if they want to make this one happen. And this time around, it looks like they're still interested in playing this passive play early, and they really want to try and get a pick over towards B. They've got pretty much their whole roster here going for these plays over towards the B tunnels. They're just going to be boosted on top of each other, almost looking for some sort of trade opportunity here, but it's just not going to happen. And we'll see if they have anything to make this happen here. But it looks like Kai's going to be playing in this position, just waiting for someone to peek out, but Carbon almost playing a little bit too safe for comfort here.
Once again, just going a little bit too slowly. We saw a lot of this earlier. Still going for some sort of boosting thing here. I don't know what they're doing. Rex just got his pistol out, jumping up and down. They're all having fun. Ooh.
It looks like we have a disconnection here.
Lag out. Okay, that'd do it. I was wondering why they weren't moving.
Could be a position where maybe somebody got stuck in a pixel or something on that fence line here. It looked like they were having some struggles over there. So I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but some sort of pause on the round. But we'll see what sort of issues arise from this. AG not looking too happy about that pause coming out, maybe due to some positioning they had or something at this point. But I don't believe any damage had been dealt, so still a fairly fair pause to come out here at that point in time. So Carbon going to be tied up here, but obviously in a much more high-pressured situation, because if they fall here, it's basically the end of the road for them. They'd have to bounce back phenomenally with the rest of their matches and pretty much win out to make it back. But here we have it. We're going to be hopping right back in 7-7 after the pause. And it looks like we have a pause issue coming out again, so I'm not sure if we're having just a technical issue across the board for Carbon, but we do see a disconnection on their side once again. AG looking a bit frustrated, but
no, I wasn't laughing at that. I was just enjoying the music coming straight back in.
Yeah.
We're back. I was just having a look, by the way. Speaking of Carbon, if they do go down 0-2 here, the remainder of their games are against Boss, Q9, and Black Dragons in that order. So it's not an easy road for them to get back 3-2, which is, I assume, what we're calling the pass mark. I would say 3-2 is a decent scoring to end up probably out of the groups.
Yeah, definitely, especially if everybody starts off 1-1. 3-2 is honestly going to get some teams through at this point for sure. Maybe all of them, potentially, if we see a very close finish here, because, I mean, if we have all 1-1s to start this off, it's going to be pretty much anyone's for the taking in the next round here. And that third round is honestly going to play a pretty crucial role in who moves forward. But just looking ahead at some of the potential games we do have, if AG falls here, they would be going up against Q9 at a 1-1 score. So that would be a tough one for both teams, really, because it's a match that could honestly go either way. But it looks like we are just about ready to hop back in here. The pause has been lifted. It is indeed still 7-7, and Carbon, they're going to be looking for a chance at redemption here.
Good. No one sneakily won a round while we weren't looking. Good on them. Thanks, guys. But as you say, 7-7 is the score. Carbon, they've already done one round better than they did in their previous attempt at this map, but needs to do a bit better. And surely if you're Carbon, you're a little bit annoyed at this point that you got taken onto port again. But either way, looking for 3 more rounds to close this one out. 2 more to force overtime at least. And a heavy setup around top mid here. Team Q and TF hanging around the A bridge. That's for Carbon. Very slow default at this point, seeing if anyone is pushing them anywhere on the map, just spreading out, playing slowly, and not going to be given anything just yet. But so too, they haven't lost anyone, so, you know, could be worse.
AG just going to be playing a retake on A as well. They're playing the cross pick setup. They've got TF and K both close by for rotation, but it is going to be Carbon grouping up for a potential B hit here. They've got one player in mid. It is going to be Rek. The rest of the team going to be working pretty quickly here into B tunnels. So Even and ZQ, they're going to be challenged here on this B bomb site right now. We do see a tough potential play ahead, but Carbon, they're going to funnel down into the lower B tunnels for a potential hit out of mid. This is where they need to be careful. This mid setup from AG could come back to haunt them. They've got 3 players that could easily shut this one down if Carbon indeed decides to push, but K is in a tough situation if he peeks out. Mistakes were made there. He will go down indeed, but TF gets the shot through the window in tunnels. TMQ finds another, and he's not done just yet. He's still eager on the rotation here towards B, but Carbon, they're forced into a funnel. Even takes down all 3. Big spray down from him, and that's going to be Carbon getting caught in a huge mistake there in the lower B tunnels. They just got completely collapsed on, and unfortunately that means AG will be in the lead here. Carbon struggling to say the least.
This is what we saw earlier from them, though. Having a bit of a tricky time on their attacking side on this map. And it's the only map we've seen them play, so the sample size is admittedly limited. But look at this from AG, getting aggressive once again, going for a boost up through A long. Go across into mid, maybe find themselves some cheeky picks, or more than one, but they do need only one more to get themselves, at bare minimum, overtime. At best, that win. And Carbon really don't want that to happen. They don't want to be 0-2 here, and they don't want to allow all gamers to be the only team 2-0 at this point. Wanting everyone to be on a pretty even keel going into stage 3 of this round robin is pretty ideal for all teams, really, here. And Carbon slipping away from them. They might be able to do so, but it's not over just yet. In the meantime, though, once again, it's a slow round as they will all reposition over towards A long, get ready to go. We'll have 2 players waiting for them, the mid player on a relatively quick rotate as well. It's going to be a difficult round. And out they will go now, facing into TF where he's waiting. The headshot comes through as well.
TF starts things off right for sure here in this one, but now Carbon, they're going to rotate off very quickly and see what they can do. But K, he's still here on the top of A connector as well, so definitely a good positioning advantage still in the hands of AG. And Rek, he could run into trouble if he decides to hop up in here. K still going to be holding that angle, and Rek, I don't think he's ready for someone to actually be here. He decides to back off, though. I think he may have heard a misstep come out from K, so he's going to rotate off, and Carbon again position themselves to potentially go for this B hit. ZQ going to be the initial point of contact here, even playing from pit here with some flashes out as well. Both players ready in position. The flashes might stall, but it's going to be too slow of a play. Superman already squeezes in there, but even he gets the double kill to answer back. Brando finally trades it out, but TMQ's already there on site for the support as well, and it's a 2v1 for Rek as he takes down K. It's going to be a difficult road ahead. TMQ's about half HP, so it's still a winnable one, but 20 seconds, and he has to force the bomb here. It's not down, and it's not going to happen. TMQ shuts things down, and Carbon now are just on 1 round deciding their fate at this point. It's match point opportunities now on the table for AG or Carbon. They have to go 2 straight rounds to take us into overtime.
2 straight then. It'd be very difficult. They haven't managed to do that yet. really at all on their attacking side. They barely got anything across the line, in fact, but this is already a much faster play. Heading towards the B warehouse, ready to exploit it onto the B site. And well, it hasn't happened just yet. Surely it's just about to. Even is waiting, but instead, no, they're going to fall back. They've made a little bit of noise over here. Haven't managed to draw the rotate over, but it looks like TMQ will go. No, not quite far enough. Didn't quite make enough noise to pull him all the way. Instead, he's going to go back to mid. The info that K is gathering by being this close at bottom mid is helping them out as well. Might have been able to hear a little bit of that rotate coming back over. Called his teammate off, but either way, now they move back into the B side Carbon, with the exception of Kais, who is looking for a pick around the mid area. This could be the last round of the game if it doesn't go well for them, so it needs to be good. This B take has to work, but so far the two players locking this down have had a very good time indeed, and K is still unknown here.
And again, we see AG abusing these forward positions that they like to take in Carbon. They've walked into a lot of traps so far, and even has been one of them, but this time he's only going to grab one. ZQ, he's still trying to hold on here, finds the opener, but can't seem to get the trade frag. Kais, though, dies to fall damage, and it's going to be a 1v3. It's all over. Carbon, they're going to be knocked down to 0-2 after a 10-7 loss there to AG. But more importantly for AG, they remain the only team to be undefeated here. Two very close games, a 10-8 and a 10-7 now over Carbon. It puts them in the lead here, 2-0 in the standings, but Carbon, they're going into dangerous territory now as the only team 0-2 after our round 2 matchups.
And their next game, when it comes, will be against Boss, so maybe a bit of an easier time for them, but Boss have shown themselves to be no slouches already, and that's unfortunate for Carbon to go down like that. It was a very near thing. Once again, they looked a lot better on their defending side than they did on their attacking side, but even so, the defense, or their attack was better than previous, but still not good enough, unfortunately, to get them across the line. They did their best, but still not enough. Maybe next game, though, they can not play Port.
Yeah, Carbon just having tons of struggles here today on Port. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to close out a map on it just yet. And now really they enter a very dangerous realm of that 0-2 as the only team there as well. It's got to be a bit disheartening having that as your fate here, but they still have time to recover. There's the potential of a 3-2 still on the table for them, and with so many teams 1-1, that could still potentially result in a bracket stage placement for themselves. So we can't count them out just yet, but they definitely have the hardest time moving forward, I'm sure, but they still find themselves in a position where they could win it back.
Exactly that. Like right now, we have one first place team, one sixth place team, and 4 second teams. So it's anyone's game at this point. Sure, Carbon are down, but if they can win their next 3 games back, no mean feat. But if they can do it, then what's to stop one of these other teams losing their next 2 or 3 games and going like 1-2, 1-3, something like that. So there's a possibility, of course, for them to come back into things here, but it's going to need to be a reverse sweep from this point out for them to even have a hope of not being one of the bottom 2 teams who are eliminated from our group stages here.
Yeah, definitely, and it still gives them a nice opportunity, though, because with so many teams 1-1, if Carbon wins their next game, there's bound to be a couple more teams that are 1-2 as well with them, so they'll still have a chance to fight it out, but we are going to throw it to a quick break here, guys. We have a couple more matches, actually still 4 more matches on the way, I believe, and we'll have 5. Those coming for you, actually 5 more, so we're going to take a quick break, guys, and we'll be back with yet another matchup here at the Global Invitational.